Hey, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. What's that? To you. Oh, hey. Hey, Marielle. Hey, Slim Bird. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I just got a little window before I got to head off to work. I'm going to turn off my echo. Okay, that's better. And I wanted to just do a quick video about the Q&A yesterday. Yeah, check it out. Droshik made me this shirt. Participate, get educated, take action. I feel like I need to wear it like every time I stream. The logo looks nice on a shirt, huh? I got a few people have been asking me for merch. I have to figure that out. I'd still like, I know we did the NFT and I know like we're secretly raising money to get Alex an iPad, but like I just still have this weird relationship with like monetizing in any way, partly because of like the Gary Vee model, partly because it's so early. Like we've been doing this for 3 months, but like, you know, if people want a t-shirt, like we should make a t-shirt. All right. Slim says get the merch. So, I mean, I don't know whose advice is more worthy than Slim for 21. Let me get Anchor up. We're going to just dive right into it. If you didn't hear the last podcast, I'm going to make an effort to do less of like everything in one episode and more of like short bites. So like even right now, like I don't have time for this right this moment, but I have 5 podcasts that I want to record, and typically I would just do them all in a daily download, but I want to see if it's better for you folks to have like a properly titled podcast that is like Hangout Hawks, and like everything going on with Hangout Hawks, you can go there and get that information instead of having to like get to minute 24 in a daily download. So still going to be doing daily download. You know, sometimes daily download is daily, sometimes not. So that's something else. But, you know, I want to make one about VCon, like what's the latest in VCon. Crypto Strikers, which is a project that Gary has been sharing his excitement about recently. The Zoom call, the Hangout Hawks, and characters. If you guys have any bigger bites or smaller bite, bigger topics that you think like a full 3 to 10 minutes could be dedicated to, like, please let me know. Slim's the sales guy. I need you on my team, bro. I'm okay at sales. Like if you tell me what to sell, I think I can sell it all right, but I'm not great at selling myself, I think. But yeah, if you have some topics that you want to see a podcast about, please feel free to let me know. And I am going to play a little bit of the video for you, and I'll tell you, I'll tell this to the podcast as well, but the entirety of the Zoom call is both on Gary's Twitter. Where did he post it? We have it on our YouTube page because we streamed it, but he also, I believe it was Twitter, or maybe I saw it in the Discord. Let me see. I think I saw it in the Discord. I can't. Sorry, I'm gonna have to find it offline because I could search May's messages, but then a lot of them will come up in the moderator chat, and that's not something I should be sharing on stream. So So I'll just give you the recap. Let's just get into it. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome back. My name is Jeremy. This is the Jeremy Knows Podcast. And yesterday, Gary Vee jumped into the Discord and invited the VeeFriends Discord to join him on a Zoom call. It was a very fun experience. It was essentially first come, first serve. I think we hit the limit on number of people in one Zoom call like that because it wasn't a presentation style. It was actually anybody who was there had the ability to unmute their mic, had their video on or off. It was a really cool community moment that Gary just decided to give some love, answer some questions. We saw a lot of familiar faces. We saw Rob from iRun Pro. We saw Craig from the VeeFriends Insiders. We saw Board Becky talk a little bit about her takeover for the Fame Lady Squad. It was very exciting, and I want to just give you some of the highlights. So I think the number one place to begin is homework, doing your homework. I found this very notable when talking about Crypto Strikers, which is a project that Gary's been talking about in the Discord for 2 or 3 days now. It's a trading card looking soccer NFT project from 2018. He said, I've done 150 hours on Crypto Strikers before I brought it to the Discord. And so considering that he works about 18 hours a day, he's not doing this all day, every day. Like he spent more than a week before he brought it to the Discord. However, he also wanted to be very loud when he found a project that he thought had this long-term potential, thought could be a win for the community. So this is just a really notable dichotomy that's going on with Gary. You know, Gary's thing is always like pulling from both ends, right? Doing both. And he simultaneously wants to be careful about the projects that he puts out there because he knows people are watching his wallet, people are buying what he buys, and it shouldn't be financial advice. But at the same time, when he finds something that he thinks could be gold or silver or bronze, he wants to be loud about it and is specifically going to the VeeFriends Discord first. Like, I think people are still underestimating, and they probably will for a lot longer, how insider it is to be in the VeeFriends Discord, even if you're in a group with, 80,000 people. He also gave some more context to what he's doing, how he's playing with projects, and the projects that he's truly gotten excited about. Because, he shared Deadheads, he shared Fame Lady Squad. But he named these 3 projects as the one that he got like really authentically excited about, where with Fame Ladies and Deadheads, he was playing with minting, he was playing with learning, getting into the Discord, tasting different communities. But the 3 that have gotten him really excited are the World of Women project, the Tom Sachs Airplane project, because he just like really, really loves that project, loves Tom Sachs, thinks the value proposition is really there, and this Crypto Strikers project, all of which, even while minting World of Women, he was bringing it to the Discord when there were still mints available. I think one thing he said that is just flat out true. He's gotten a little bit of a heat for saying like, go mint this, or like pumping up a project, because when Gary Vee puts his cosign on a project, it sees a spike and it can potentially moon just from that. But one thing he said, and he's so right, is like, you didn't earn my audience. Like, I earned my fucking audience. You can't tell me what to do, right? But by the same token, he wants to be very delicate, very careful. And so, feel confident that when Gary says, get into Crypto Strikers, learn about Crypto Strikers, get everyone to learn about Crypto Strikers, that he really thinks it's a good learning experience, potentially good investment, but it's not financial advice. And you should not be following Gary's purchases, even though he's been right on a lot of NFT buys. It's not financial advice. That's not why he's sharing this information with us. The reason he's sharing Crypto Strikers, the reason he shared WOW, is because at this point, VeeFriends, core token VeeFriends, going for 7, 8, and soon 10 ETH floor, are out of reach for the far majority of people. People who didn't get in the auction launch and in the couple of weeks prior have basically been priced out, and we don't know if they'll ever get a chance again to just directly buy a VeeFriend. I don't know what your financial situation is listing this, but you can imagine that most people don't have $30,000 to $45,000 to just drop on an NFT, even if they believed in it the most. Okay. So the reason he's getting loud about these smaller projects is exactly for that reason, that they are still at an entry level price for most people. And it could give them the little bit of fuel they need to like flip a couple, get into a little bigger project, find something they like, flip after flip, patience, and maybe eventually get up to a VeeFriend. Another sort of tidbit is this notion of what is the rookie NFT. So I'm not a big sports person. So like I enjoy playing soccer. I like watching football. I played baseball as a kid, but like I couldn't name you any professional players from any sort of team for any sort of sport. It's just not the world I'm in. And it's a humongous part of Gary's life and interest. And so he made this statement about like, I'm constantly wondering what will be the rookie card NFT, because in sports trading cards, rookie cards are far more valuable. In order to get that card or buy it in secondary market out of somebody who's open to pack, like you have to believe in that person. They haven't necessarily proven their worth yet, right? They haven't had the career that brings value to that rookie card. This Crypto Strikers project for him feels like it could be the rookie card for so many of these top tier soccer players that are listed in it, like Messi and other people that I'm not familiar with. So you can know that he's going to be looking for the rookie NFT for football. I think he's probably trying to create that with Candy Digital. Same with baseball. But he's constantly looking at these older projects, and he gave more context to this as well. He's looking at a lot of these older projects from 2017, 18, 19, 20, because, and this is the word he used, he's incredibly uncomfortable with how much supply is coming out with, 10 drops a day, all these generative projects. It doesn't mean that because they were minted in 2021 that they have less chance of making it relative to these early projects. And he also clarified that just because it's an earlier project doesn't mean that it's going to make it, that it's going to win. However, most of these projects that we're seeing now, whether it's Penguins or Lazy Lions, Bored Ape Yacht Club has like separated themselves, but all of these are working in the intellectual property game, the same game that VeeFriends is in. Again, he called VeeCon a cherry on top to what's actually coming. Earlier in the week, he made a comment that he's working on 2027 shit. So Gary understands the intellectual property game because he spent the last dozen plus years of his life only building brands. And I think he's right to kind of be wary that other projects are not going to be able to actually build the IP in the long term. One of the reasons that Bored Ape Yacht Club is so successful, besides the fact they have a badass community and they're taking care of their holders, is because a lot of people are excited to hold their Forever Ape and make something out of it in terms of their commercial rights that they hold. So yeah, that's very, very notable and gives more context to why Gary is spending so much time looking at older projects, because for him, it's great that you can write up a roadmap and have a nice website, but can you execute your roadmap? And I think we will see this time and time again. Like he said, like almost quote, like there will be a lot of carnage that comes out of this sort of NFT summer moment, because a lot of teams are not prepared for how much work is required to actually build intellectual property. Moving on to some highlights. Bored Becky, who's a member of the community, holds 4 VeeFriends, also invested in Fame Ladies, and is an ape influencer, just a big person in the community. If you're not familiar with her story, I mean, go and check her out. She's Bored Becky on Instagram, on Twitter. And after the Fame Lady Squad was exposed to not be actually female-led, in the 48 hours following, Artchick brokered a deal to get the ownership of the contract address, the minting contract for Fame Lady Squad, into Artchick's hands, and then she gave it to Bored Becky. And so along with Data Lady and some other people in the Fame Lady Squad community, they've created Project Phoenix, where they are working to rebuild the integrity of the Fame Lady Squad project. The community has really rallied around this. You can go to the Fame Lady Squad Discord to get into the Project Phoenix Discord, or go to Bored Becky. But she was able to ask a question and I think this is going to be helpful for a lot of people. I know it was helpful for me. And that is, when you're building a team, how do you move forward in this sort of thing? You know, for the way she kind of posed it was like, she wants to do this right, but she's not sure how. And Gary kind of joked, well, now you're asking how to run a business. You know, some of his advice that he gave her was, when you're hiring, you're guessing. So, you know, that's sort of like hire fast, fire faster advice, but also rely on people you trust and find somebody who's done this before. That was what really landed on me, because, you know, I've been chatting with a lot of you in the community, asking for advice, trying to build out a proper roadmap, not to be too ambitious, but just to make sure the project, speaking of our Achievement Unlocked thing, like making sure it's something that really does provide value and has a shot, at least in terms of being an investment, doesn't fizzle, you know, making promises I can keep, all of that. And I have no one on my team who's done this before. Like, a lot of us have seen launches, participated in a lot of projects, but nobody that's actually gone from inception to development to creation, launch, and the rest. And so if you're sort of in that in-between of like, you've played with NFTs and you're seeing other needs in the space, you know, you have like a seed of an idea for your own project, and you'd like to take the leap into actually creating your own, the best piece of advice that came from Gary yesterday, in this regard at least, was find somebody who's done it before and rely on people that you can trust. I highly recommend, if you have the like 45 minutes to an hour, to just go and watch the Q&A, because, you know, as much as I can recap it for you, the tone of sort of Gary's calm and, you know, certainty in an uncertain space is, I don't know, it's a little bit comforting. It's a little bit unnerving in a good way. You know, it's important for us to be mindful as the space develops, as supply skyrockets, as the number of active wallets grows just linearly and supply goes exponentially. But he was just there with us, you know, and he answered a lot of questions about what he's seeing in the culture, namely people overreacting to every moment, you know, express more remorse about people who, you know not to, but still share their seed phrase and get robbed out of their tokens. People who are playing with more money than they can afford to lose. Like, he made a really big point again of like, you have to play with money that you can afford to lose, because otherwise that's where you get that friction, where you need the flip to work and you make bad decisions. You chase the giveaway of a CryptoPunk and without thinking, put in your seed phrase or whatever the case may be. Yeah. Very interesting to just like see his tone, see his calm, and also just be there for a moment for him to like sort of want us to win so much that on the fly he takes 45 minutes out of his day to just answer questions. Gary's been doing a lot of homework on smaller projects, so he's wanting to overshare where that is. But at the end of the day, if you're playing with money that you can't afford to lose, all the homework in the world isn't going to save you from the emotions that are making you concerned about keeping the roof over your head and food on your table. Gary also said he really likes learning, and that's why he's going so deep into this, but recognizes that this is going to take time, like a long time. It was interesting, he may not be right about this, but the time frame seems accurate, where it's going to take 2 to 3 years for the sort of adoption that this space wants to see, like overnight. And I found that was notable, that this sort of like random 2 to 3 year period will overlap directly with the VConference. Like by the end of VCon, the amount of adoption is probably going to be sort of at the beginning of that mainstream moment. I mean, time will tell, but in terms of this cherry on top, this physical utility, all this added value into the VFriends collection, giving Gary a 3-year buffer while the mainstream discovers NFTs, more and more people have their non-custodial wallets, and he's developing the IP over time so that at the end of the added value, the price floor of the collection is sustained because there's so much intellectual property and branding already built and ongoing, and announcements or things we're looking forward to. It's very notable. And also, we just saw a lot of empathy from Gary, like listening to people's stories. And he said something that I know he's said this before, but and again, I always have to check myself, like, am I becoming a fanatic, or am I a level-headed person who just recognizes good in another good person out there? Because that was one of the things about like just being in a Zoom call with him, is like, Gary's just a regular guy with irregular, supernatural sometimes skills, and that's where I read the line. His skills aren't supernatural. He's worked hard to develop his skill set, but he does have, like he says, the DNA, the intuition, the patience, like the kindness, like all that stuff came from Sasha and Tamara Vaynerchuk. And so he's living his life. He's reacting, he's responding. And, he's also never lived through this moment where he has millions of followers and he's launching his IP. He told us again, like, he will shut down all of VaynerX, VaynerMedia, all the rest to save VFriends and make sure that it works. So, I personally have no concern in that regard. But in case you were wondering, oh, what if VFriends doesn't jump and he just goes all into Candy Digital? Like, that's never going to happen. This is Gary's long-term move. Like, we still haven't gotten started. We might not be able to say we've gotten started until like near the end of the fall. And who knows, chapter 1 might last more than the first 3 years with VCon. Chapter 1 might be the first 25 years. I'm starting to feel like I have more context about what a long-term project really means, what patience in the space really means. And that doesn't mean that like I'm being as patient is maybe necessary, but I'm starting to understand how far-reaching patience really means, what long-term looks like. Even this week, just this morning, Gary said there's it's a big biz dev week. And someone said, oh, it's announcements week. And he said patient panda. Like, just because he said there would be 4 announcements this month doesn't mean that it will happen, because he's the adaptable alien. Like, things have to shift and change. But over time, all of this stuff is going to roll out. Going back, like the thing that he said before that just is, he doesn't say it often, but when someone is so impacted by his work, specifically people being able to pay off like their student loans after holding a VFriend for a few months, or paying off their massive debt, or feeling the freedom of concern because they were able to sell a VFriend and have real assets to deploy against the things that were holding them back. He said, it makes me really happy, like winning a Jets Super Bowl. And just like give that a moment, like helping someone out of massive debt makes Gary feel as good as winning a Jets Super Bowl. This is like his all-time, lifetime ambition to take the Jets to Super Bowl and win. And he's getting that same feeling by helping us. So, you know, Gary's not perfect. He makes mistakes all the time. There's plenty of losses along the way with flipping, with building, with all of it. But we truly have a benevolent leader when your lifetime goal, the thing you're striving for, it's not even important if you get it, you're just striving for this thing. That feeling is matched by helping a single person in your community. I mean, that's a pretty profound statement, I think. Getting back to VeeFriends, and I guess the space as a whole, you know, how is this going to happen? What is the process for building intellectual property? And it just comes down to developing the characters. He's going to develop the characters. They're going to be developed through video games and TV shows and animations and serials and purses and lamps and, you know, Super Bowl ads and mascots and Halloween costumes and pencils. Like it will literally be anything and everything to add context to the origin story, to the relationships between the characters, to the worlds that they live in, to the way that they affect our world. You know, that is not a predetermined course. Gary told us before that he doesn't get to decide a lot of the IP because he's finding the companies he wants to work with and he's allowing them to make choices on what character they want to have represent their brand or their product. And so he's going to have to shift and groove, but all the while, development of characters, making them matter to more and more people. Like knowing Gary Vee, like his ambition is for all 9 billion people to care about at least one VeeFriend. And he said early on, like, now that I have 268 characters, now that I have Accountable Ant and Patient Panda, I don't have to worry about my Gary Vee's brashness and his cursing because Accountable Ant isn't going to curse. You know, it's going to speak to 7-year-olds and that's going to get into that demographic and their parents. And each one will sort of splinter out and find their communities over time based on collaborations, based on events and culture and all the rest. So if you were confused about that, the way that all of this will go down is through the development of characters. And so the thing that I want to end with, and this is perfect because I'm running out of recording time, is what was Gary's closing message? And I don't know what comes to your mind when I tell you that he had a closing message. Like you might imagine his message is, oh, go buy a VeeFriend, you know, get your shit together, sell everything in your house, flip it up, get a VeeFriend, get a VeeFriend, get a VeeFriend. You know, he told us get it before Labor Day, all the rest. Like, yes, he wants us to invest in VeeFriends. He believes that it'll win. He said this week that in the same way people are looking at the 0.5 floor at the auction, oh, I wish I could have invested more. I wish I did. That people are going to look back at this time where the floor is 7 to 10 and realize later on that they didn't see it, you know, that they didn't understand how much value was actually packed in. But that was not his closing message. And I'll abbreviate it for you, but I'm gonna let him tell you because it surprised me. It surprised me that he was like the clip starts a couple things. He just wrapped up with the last person. He said, I've got to go do some family things, but I wanted to spend some time and give some love to the community. And this was his closing message.
Couple things. Don't be scared to take some profits off the board with your second, third, fourth, and fifth favorite projects you're in. Whether it's VeeFriends or something else, you don't have to do that with your first one. But don't be scared to with your second, third, fourth, and fifth. I am incredibly concerned by how many projects are coming out every day. I think this is going to be very hard to sustain what we're seeing right now. So if you're day trading NFTs, be thoughtful what you're playing with. Be very thoughtful because when it turns and it's done. People always think they can catch the market. You cannot catch the market. Far smarter people than you and I did not catch the market every time the market collapsed. In real estate, the stock market, Beanie Babies, sports cards, sneakers. Like, be thoughtful, be fucking smart, and put in real homework. Don't buy shit just because I bought it or somebody else that you think is doing well about it. Like, do your homework, spend time in the Discords, make relationships, and never give out your secret seed phrase. Nobody will ever ask for it. It will never happen. Nobody, not MetaMask, not Coinbase, not OpenSea, not me. We're still in the early Wild Wild West stage, and people are getting their stuff stolen, which is unfortunate. I want to use this moment again to remind you, this is what comes, the beautiful thing about the blockchain is nobody's in charge. The bad thing is nobody's in charge. When people get their VFriend stolen and they hit me up and they're like, I can't do shit about it. I can put public pressure, but these are hidden so be thoughtful. This is a special time. That's why it's amazing and scary. It's special. It's different. That's what it's supposed to be. So do your homework, and I'll see you in the VFriends Discord in a few minutes. We can chat a little bit. Love you. Have a great weekend. Great rest of the weekend. Bye, everyone.
And then he asked everyone to unmute.
Gary.
Thanks so much, Gary. It was awesome. I was watching it at that moment, and he just asked, I got the notification. It was like, Gary Vaynerchuk wants you to unmute, everybody could say thanks. So, maybe that didn't surprise you, but it surprised me a lot. And I mentioned all these in the podcast already, but just to say it again, his main message was not go buy more NFTs. It wasn't stack ETH. It wasn't get VFriends. It was, don't be scared to take profits. And it wasn't financial advice that you should take profits. It was, don't be scared to. He said he's incredibly concerned about the amount of supply and projects that are dropping on a daily and weekly basis, that to never, ever share your seed for his, and that this is a special time, and it's meant to be this huge opportunity while also very scary. Someone asked him, is this like a special opportunity in that it won't be this good next time or a few months from now? And he said, probably yes. There will always be opportunity available in this space. There's so much that's going to come. We literally haven't even started. But at the same time, this time is special. And so if you're feeling that there's this immense opportunity and it's also very scary, that's okay. Gary says, it's meant to be that way. But I think I needed to hear that. I hope that this was helpful for you. You can find the recording for this on our YouTube at Wannabe Creations. I know the link is also in the VFriends Discord, but I don't have on hand where to find it. So you can just go to YouTube, go to wannabeavfriend.com, and the link to YouTube is there. I know I said I was going to be doing shorter podcasts, and now I'm doing a 30-minute one take. But there was a lot of value in this Q&A yesterday. I know a lot of people missed it. So if you want to watch the whole thing again, wannabeavfriend.com to get to the YouTube. It'll be the second to last video posted after this stream. And, I just wanted to give you the highlights. Everybody's got their own circumstances. Everybody's got their own financial risk tolerance. Everybody's got their own thing. But I suppose the main message, is don't allow the hype. Don't overreact to every single moment. Be thoughtful, be cautious, do your research, and, participate if you can. Get educated, participate, and take action. The PLP is still on the table, the pre-launch program, if you want to launch a project. There's a lot of good shit happening in the VFriends Discord, on Twitter. If you haven't gotten into Twitter and NFT Twitter spaces, it's a great place to watch creators, find creators, learn more about this process. A lot more stuff to come, but I think I've said enough for now. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you enjoyed this Jeremy Knows Q&A reaction podcast. My name is Jeremy. I'm the Heart Trooper number 7. I'll see you tomorrow. So Alwyn, let me just get you guys the link in case you want to watch the actual thing. So this is my stream of it, but I don't have the link to where the team posted it, so my apologies. I'm going to check in with your comments real quick. Mate, you're a great sales guy. People buy from people, and trust me, you could sell snow to the Eskimos because you do so much for others. That's fun. Thanks, man. Can you tell us when you're going to do the tutorial of installation of Ledger as well? If perhaps you can show how to via mobile. Yes, Marielle, we're going to do the Ledger tutorial tonight around 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. Eastern time. Excuse me. Because that is morning for Dave. So it's going to be Eric, Dave, and I. I think we're shooting for 9, but it might be 10 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, it'll be here on Twitch, and the playback will be on the YouTube. So if you didn't know, every time I'm streaming on Twitch, I'm simulcasting to YouTube, and like nobody's watching there yet. But what that does is it creates the archive. So it automatically takes the title and uploads the video, and it's raw, and it's not, it's not getting a lot of engagement, but it's there. And that's what's most important, because over time I'll be able to chop it up. So if you're in Europe and you don't want to stay up to 4 a.m. to do that, or whatever, you're just busy, you can catch it tomorrow on the YouTube. You can watch the whole thing. You can skip through. But that tutorial will be tonight in the evening, starting around 9 p.m. I don't know that we can show how to do it on mobile. I honestly, I just would not do it on mobile. Setting up Ledger, from what I've heard, speaking to like half a dozen people, is complicated enough as it is. I think you're going to want a screen. There's a desktop app. Like, I just don't think it's optimized for whether it can be done on mobile. I don't even know, but I'm sure it's not optimized for it. So I would just highly recommend you take the time and do it on desktop. Trying to get a VFriend, but the price is going up quicker than I can save and flip. Yeah, I mean that's a real struggle right now. There's not really anything I can do to give you consolation for that. There's a couple of giveaways, like there's the moonshot to get a go from Gary, but a little more practical, and I can link this for you. There's a Knowing Gnome. There's the Knowing Gnome giveaway. But that's also like a moonshot. And if you don't have tickets already, they're expensive, because I think they're selling for like 0.01 or 0.02 right now. But this is the Gifted Gopher wallet. I'm going to come back to this Gifted Gopher in just a sec. Let me just read the rest of the comments. I couldn't get into those. I know nothing about projects, so it doesn't excite me. I would not know which to select. Yeah, I didn't get into Crypto Strikers either. Like he said, get educated on it. Like I haven't joined the Discord. I know he's spending a lot of time in that Discord, so that's one reason I might like poke around. But it's just out of my depth, and I don't have any desire to learn soccer, so I won't be doing that. Might be a great project, but it's also out of my price range. I mean, I think the floor is like 0.5 or higher. Plus, I keep buying what I like, not what I should be flipping. I keep doing this too. And, it just really depends on your goals. Like, if you're playing with money you can lose, then it's not a big deal. I've been buying some like projects that I like the PFP. I'm not using it as my PFP, but like for derivative artwork and for like just playing in the metaverse, like I think over time, I want to do something like that. Like I bought a Barn Owls and a Junkyard Dog that I just like. And that does help, like in case it goes to zero. Nice. Slim's all over the Knowing Gnome giveaway. So the Gifted Gopher giveaway. I've got a few. I'm going to explain this, and then I have to go to work. The Gifted Gopher giveaway, it's two things. Primarily, it's an opportunity for someone who doesn't have a VFriend to create an NFT, send it to that wallet, and allow for popular opinion to dictate the winner. So what that means is, and I can show you the wallet. So this is the Gifted Gopher wallet, and you can see that there have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 submissions. I sent in these, but I already have a VFriend, so I'm not eligible. But the reason I sent in my NFTs is because the second utility is to create a community gallery. This is something that hasn't really been, I guess, maybe publicized in the best way. Basically, I'm trying to explain this as simply as possible. Someone in the community bought this gifted gopher for 1.4 back in May, and they decided to give it away to somebody who didn't have a VFriend. And the way to submit was to send an NFT that you create to the wallet, and then by favorites, by favoriting, so like right now, this person is in the lead. Like whoever made this Through the Lens Kaleidoscope, Jess Q is in the lead for this NFT. And if the giveaway ended today, the gifted gopher would go automatically to them. What happened was the person who started this, due to some personal events, is no longer able to run this giveaway. And they came to me and you're like, you're the only person that I can trust to do this, because the caveat is that no NFTs from this wallet will ever be sold. And that's meant to be the incentive for the rest of the community to send a piece of their artwork. Like we want to get VectorBots and Biscuits and like Adam's Project and Wiley and like all the rest to send something to this wallet to sort of show what was going on in the VFriends community, the art that was being created. So that's the second utility. The primary one is giving people the opportunity to create an NFT and send it in. And so now that I'm the steward of this, I solemnly swear that nothing will ever be sold. In terms of the activity, you will only see things coming into the wallet, and then eventually this gifted gopher going out of the wallet to whoever at the end of the time period has the most favorites on their NFT, period. So I'm in charge of this now. I have the keys to the wallet. I make that solemn promise, and I will determine when the giveaway ends based on the announcement of the VCon date and location. So I know we have like a maybe date with May 19th to the 22nd, and that seems very, very likely, but it's not confirmed yet. Once it's confirmed, then I will determine, like, I think it'll probably be January, February that will end this giveaway. But I also feel like not a lot of people, like, I feel bad for Jess, because I know Jess and like I would like for her to win this token, but like I am not I have no personal say in this, even though I will be the one making the transfer. I get all the same one vote that everybody else does. And I really feel like if more people knew about this, more people would apply. I would like to see this wallet full of community art before the giveaway is done. So yes, you can send your Kind Coffee Club. You can send a custom one. There were some specific guidelines that they set out, and I should really be more familiar with this. So they also gave me access to this Gifted Gopher giveaway Instagram, which I haven't done anything with just yet, but they have a link tree here to the official rules. So overview, rules, and disclaimer. So I'll link this to you folks so you can read it on your own time. But there was something in here about, so look, after the contest is over, the winner has been selected. We'll rebrand the wallet as a community art collective gallery space where members of the VFriends community will be able to continually submit their work for others to view and enjoy. The hope is to support artists by offering a collective platform that will showcase their work forever and drive traffic to their individual NFT collections and or social media spaces. None of the submissions to the public wallet will ever be available for sale. The intent is to create a living archive by and for the VFriends community for as long as there is interest to do so. But there was something about here. NFTs must be original art and created and minted by the submitting artist. So the person who sends it to the wallet has to be the person who minted it. Important. Also important that they need to be one of ones that don't exist in any other crypto wallet. So what that means is, let's say you made an NFT and like the Kind Coffee Club. Like, I don't know how you're doing the Kind Coffee Club, if they're one of ones and then you're making new mints, or if they're 1155. But let's say that you wanted to create like 500 of these and sell them. You have to mint a separate one that is just one of one that goes to this wallet. It's okay if there are other versions of it or even the same thing in a different mint, but whatever you submit to the wallet has to be minted on its own as a one of one. And if you have any questions about this, the minting process, just like reach out to me. I'm happy to help. It's really not that complicated after you do it once or twice. This ensures that voting will happen in the community gallery wallet. So you can understand, like, if like, for example, let me open up the Gifted Gopher wallet again. So if I have these two NFTs, 6 favorites, 39 favorites. This Flame of Purpose, I could send to as many people as I want. It's on Polygon. But when anybody can go and favorite this because it's in multiple wallets. But if it was a one of one, then the only place that it could be favorited is in this wallet, or I suppose on my profile before I sent it out. So that allows for more I guess just transparency and trust in the way that it works. Granted, like, social influence will have a factor. Like, if you have a big following, then you could go and post it on social. But like the important thing for like the integrity of the giveaway is that the favoriting happens here, not in your personal wallet or in like other hundreds of wallets that you send out your NFT to trying to get favorites. Yeah, so Slim, so you did a one-of-one for me, same process. Just make a one-of-one for the Gifted Gopher wallet. You can put GG on it, or you can do whatever you want. NFT submissions must be minted by the submitting wallet address. I said that. This enables auditable digital provenance. That just means, like, when you create your NFT, don't send it anywhere else to send it to Gifted Gopher. Just create the one-of-one, send it here. Submissions will only be accepted in the form of an NFT. I believe this is now the correct address. I think they swapped it out. Let me double check. Yeah, it looks like it's, yeah. So this is on the, if you go to Gifted Gopher giveaway on Instagram and go to the link tree for the overview, rules, and guidelines, the thing I linked in the comments, then this is the correct address. The winner must be an active member of the VeeFriends Discord server, and the winner must not already have a VeeFriends NFT. During the giveaway period, we ask the artists to only submit one piece each. This is important. You can't just send 5 submissions, choose one. If you decide, this is a bit of a can of worms, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Fuck, I'm late for work. If you decide, if you send an NFT to the Gifted Gopher giveaway, and a month or two goes by as we're waiting for announcements or whatever else, and you decide that you want to send something else, just contact me directly, and we can just transfer the token back to you, and you can send a new NFT. I think that's okay. It's a little bit of a can of worms if everyone decides to do that. And it's like, I'm paying the gas. However, I don't think it'll really be much of an issue. Yeah, I suppose I'll add the caveat, until which point, I'm spending $1,000 to transfer back all these tokens. We're not affiliated with VeeFriends in any way, and while it is our hope that everyone is able to participate, we understand there are limitations involved. We are not and cannot be held liable for any applicable laws within your various local jurisdictions. We cannot and will not offer you legal or financial advice on any cryptocurrency or blockchain activities. Any inquiries regarding legality or using cryptocurrency will be politely redirected to this page. This email, if you want to message about it, Gifted Gopher giveaway Instagram, you can also hit me on Want to Be a VeeFriend. Yeah, I think that's it. I have to run. I got to get to work. But I hope that was helpful. Thanks, Slim. Cool. So I will see you folks later. I'll probably be on. Yeah, I'll probably do more podcast stuff. Oh, I wanted to post that podcast. Can I post the podcast real quick? Posting the podcast. Was it episode 64? No, episode 65. All right, let's go. 65. Gary's Q and A yesterday. Well, I'm gonna be late. Hey, hey, I'm gonna be late. Hey, hey, I'm gonna be late. Hey, hey, and I don't care. Gotta change. I gotta go to the bathroom. Okay. Publish. Tweet. Recap of Gary V's live Zoom yesterday. Okay. Away we go. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.